Hello, and welcome to the Monroe School District College Financial Aid Information Session. Today we will be talking about what financial aid is and how to apply. Financial aid is money to help pay for your post-high school education. It can be used for 4-year, 2-year, and technical colleges, along with some certificate or apprenticeship programs. Financial aid can come in 4 main categories: grants, scholarships, loans, and work study. Grants are money which you do not have to pay back. Be sure to check if there are academic or other requirements for grants you might apply for. Scholarships do not need to be paid back as well. And work study is an income-based aid which allows students the opportunity to work on or off campus and earn money during college. Loans are income-based, federal and private sources of funding that are required to be paid back. There are different types of loans available based on your financial qualifications. Financial aid can come from federal, state, and college sources. Federal financial aid is from the U.S. Department of Education and can be used at most colleges. State financial aid is for residents to attend programs in their own state. They do not necessarily have to be public colleges, but they do have to be eligible to receive state financial aid. There are currently over 60 of these institutions, so check with your admissions office staff or the institution's website for more information. College or programs will often have their own scholarships that they offer to students who have been admitted to their schools. These can be found on their individual college or institution financial aid websites. Individual organizations such as nonprofits or businesses will generally offer scholarships independently as well. Take the time to view as many scholarships as possible to reduce the amount of loan you need to obtain to support your college expenses. Most scholarships do not require a fee to apply. If you are being asked to pay a fee, please do some research to make sure the scholarship is a legitimate opportunity. A list of scholarships can be found on the Monroe High School Career Center website and the washboard.org, which I'll talk about more later. Federal student aid can be used to pay for expenses such as room and board, tuition and fees, and books and supplies. The Pell Grant is an income-based grant, and the amount that you receive is based on your expected family contribution, also known as EFC. Another financial aid opportunity, the Federal Supplemental Education Opportunity Grant, is a grant for undergraduate students with exceptional financial need. There are a limited number of funds, so apply early. Federal Work Study, as mentioned previously, provides part-time jobs for undergraduate and graduate students with financial need, allowing them to earn money to help pay for their educational expenses. The program encourages community service work and work related to the student's course of study. Work study jobs can be on or off campus. Always select this option on your FAFSA or WAFSA to keep the door open for this opportunity. You can always say no later, but you want to make sure you keep that open as an option. If you apply for financial aid, you may be offered student loans as part of your school's financial aid offer. A loan is money you borrow and must pay back with interest. If you decide to take out a loan, make sure you understand who is making the loan and the terms and conditions of the loan. Student loans can come from the federal government, from private sources such as banks or financial institutions, or from other organizations. Loans made by the federal government, called federal student loans, usually have more benefits than loans from banks or other private sources. Parent loans can also be taken out to help pay for the student's expenses. These require credit checks and income requirements and may not be available to all parents, and repayment usually begins right away. Washington-approved Opportunity Pathways are financial aid programs open to Washington residents to be used at eligible colleges in Washington state. Washington College Grant is the largest income-based grant. The maximum WCG award amount will cover full tuition at any approved in-state public college or university, including community or technical colleges. At an approved private college or career training program, WCG provides a comparable amount towards tuition and other educational-related costs. State work study is similar to the federal work study program, but it is funded by the Washington state versus the federal government. Passport to Careers is a program that provides additional resources for both foster youth and accompanied homeless youth. You can learn more at wasac.wa.gov. The Opportunity Grant is awarded to students who wish to attend a 2-year community college or technical school. Eligible students pursuing an approved program may receive funds to cover tuition and mandatory fees up to 45 credits and up to $1,000 for required books and supplies per academic year. The College Bound Scholarship is an early commitment of state financial aid to cover certain costs for college. Students must be signed up in middle school and remain eligible throughout high school, including senior year. You can check your college bound status with the Career Center or counseling staff at your high school. The FAFSA, or Free Application for Federal Student Aid, is a form completed by current and prospective college students in the United States. This application determines students' eligibility for financial aid. Choose the FAFSA if you are a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. Make sure you apply for the FAFSA even if you don't think you will qualify for need-based financial aid, as many schools require the FAFSA to offer merit scholarships. FAFSA offers a website and mobile app option for applying. If you are a family unable to complete the FAFSA due to residency or other issues, no problem. You can complete the WAFSA. We are fortunate in our state to have the Washington Application for State Financial Aid, also known as the WAFSA, which offers financial aid programs to students who cannot qualify or do not wish to file through the FAFSA for various reasons, such as immigration or undocumented status, defaulted federal loans, or U.S. citizens with undocumented family members. If you are unsure which application to use, go to Washington Student Council and take the WAFSA questionnaire, which is also available on the Career Center website. To get started with FAFSA, go to FAFSA.gov, that's FAFSA.gov, and click on the Create FSA ID link. The FSA ID allows students and parents to identify themselves electronically to access federal student aid websites. The student and one parent each create their own FSA ID. If a student is completing the FAFSA but their parents are undocumented or don't have a social security number, they should put in all zeros for the parent's social security number. They will need to print out and sign the signature page and mail it to the Department of Education instead of signing online. To complete the FAFSA, you will enter general information such as your name, date of birth, social security number, contact information, and challenge questions and answers. You will use your parents' 2020 tax records, savings, and untaxed income. In your application, you will be asked to designate which schools you want to receive your FAFSA results. You can request up to 10 schools in the application and can add more after you receive your SAR. Review your information and read and accept the terms and conditions. You can use your FSA ID immediately to file and sign your FAFSA. The FSA ID serves as a legal signature and should not be shared with anyone, including family, school personnel, loan servicers, or contact center agents. Be sure to use one email address per person. An email address cannot be used more than one time on an FSA ID. Students should use a personal email address in financial aid applications. Let's get familiar with financial aid terms. Student Aid Report, also known as SAR, is a paper or electronic document that provides basic information about your eligibility for federal student aid, as well as listing your answers to the FAFSA questions. Your eligibility depends on your expected family contribution, or EFC, your year in school, your enrollment status, and the cost of attendance at the school you will be attending. Your COA is the amount it will cost you to go to school for the entire year. It considers tuition, fees, room and board, books, supplies, and transportation. The EFC, or expected family contribution, is a measure of a family's financial strength and is calculated according to a formula established by law. Students' EFCs will display in the upper right-hand corner of your student aid report. If your application is incomplete, your SAR will not include an EFC. but it will tell you what you need to do to resolve any issues. Your EFC is not the amount of money your family will have to pay for college, nor is it the amount of federal student aid you will receive. It is a number used by the college to calculate how much financial aid you are eligible to receive. After you complete a financial aid application, you will receive an award or financial aid offer. The financial aid office at your college or institution will determine how much financial aid you are eligible to receive and send you an award or financial aid offer. The financial aid staff starts by deciding upon your cost of attendance at that school. Then they consider your expected family contribution. They subtract your expected family contribution from your cost of attendance to determine the amount of financial aid and therefore how much need-based aid you will get. To determine how much non-need-based aid you can get, the school takes your cost of attendance and subtracts the financial aid you've already been awarded. Be sure to check your email for updates from FAFSA, WAFSA, and the colleges you apply to. Sometimes additional paperwork is needed, or they have internal deadlines to be aware of. By not following up on any required actions, you could be missing out on financial aid. It's important to make sure that all of your FAFSA data is correct and complete. Most information can't be updated because it must reflect your situation as of the day you originally signed your application. But there are certain times that things must be updated if they change. If your family situation has changed substantially, you can request a professional judgment review from your school. You would simply need to contact the financial aid office at the school you plan to attend and update them on your significant circumstances that may affect your financial situation. What happens after you apply for FAFSA and WAFSA? Make sure you check the status of your application. For FAFSA, go to fafsa.gov or the My Student Aid mobile app and log in with your FSA ID, username, and password. The status of your application will be one of the following: processing, proceed successfully, missing signatures, or action required. Review your student aid report, or the SAR. The SAR is a summary of the FAFSA data you submitted. Some students are selected for the verification process. If you are selected for the verification process, don't worry, your school just needs a little bit more information to complete your application. Be sure to check your email for requested information. Remember, you have the opportunity to advise prospective schools of changes to your family's financial situation. You will receive a financial aid offer or award letter from schools that you applied to. Now is the time to compare your offers and decide which school will be the right fit for you. Now let's talk scholarships. We will be discussing different types of scholarships and offer tips on applying and finding scholarships, as well as resources and other suggestions for saving money. To start off, I would like to offer a few tips. Make sure you stay organized. Use a spreadsheet or notebook. There is a scholarship comparison spreadsheet on the Career Center website that you can use, or some students prefer a physical notebook. Use whatever tools work best for you, but know your due dates and what materials each application requires. When searching for scholarships, do not ignore small awards. They can add up. And tune into the details. National scholarships that award 5 students will be more competitive than a local scholarship that awards 5 students. Remember, never pay a fee to be considered for a scholarship. As you complete college applications and scholarship applications, remember to save everything. You can often repurpose an essay and letters of recommendation to apply to several scholarships. Our local Monroe Public Schools Foundation awarded $93,825 to seniors in our district for the graduating class of 2021. You don't want to miss out on this local opportunity. Apply now before the deadline, February 11th. Many students that receive a scholarship from the college they are attending are automatically considered for the scholarships. This means that a separate application is not required, and the scholarships will automatically be awarded based on your GPA or overall admissions application. There can also be separate scholarship applications or deadlines so we highly encourage you to research scholarships while you're preparing to apply to colleges. If you are interested in college out of state, consider looking into the WUI Scholarship or non-resident scholarships. WUI stands for Western Undergraduate Exchange and is available at several colleges in the Western United States. As a Washington resident, you benefit from a reciprocal agreement reducing tuition to about 150% of the in-state rate at out-of-state schools. Each college has a different GPA, areas of study, and deadline requirements. We encourage you to visit each college website for the most up-to-date information. Non-WUI schools may offer scholarships for non-residents, and private schools do not have residency requirements, so it is important you do your research for each school you're interested in. Some colleges provide need-based scholarships to fill the gap between students' financial aid and the cost to attend school. Typically, need is shown through filling out the FAFSA or WAFSA. We recommend all students file the FAFSA even if they don't think they will qualify for grants because some schools require the FAFSA for merit scholarships. Merit scholarships are scholarships that you earn through your academics, athletics, or other achievements. Once you're accepted and confirm your enrollment, you may find additional scholarships available to you through the College Scholarship Portal. In addition to local scholarship programs being available on the Washboard, you will find other scholarships as well. The Washboard.org is provided by the Washington State Scholarship Coalition and offers scholarships specifically to Washington residents. Some scholarships through the Washboard.org can be used out of state, so don't ignore this thinking it doesn't apply to you if you have out-of-state plans. Scholarships are added year-round on the Washboard, but we often say that scholarship season starts in December and goes throughout the spring. The Washboard will match you to scholarships based on your profile, or you can search through the pages of scholarships on your own. Once you match scholarships, you need to apply to those scholarships. Creating an account and profile is just the first step. Some scholarships will require essays, letters of recommendation, so again, this is where staying organized and knowing dates and materials will be helpful. If you've exhausted local resources and state and school resources, you can look nationally. Using a national scholarship engine will be helpful. Nationally, there are thousands of scholarships. We recommend creating an account at one of the national scholarship sites. Most of these sites will require you to create an account to view scholarships. GearUp.wa.gov is just a list of scholarships by due date that does not require an account, but most will require an account. Many of these search engines will give you the same matches and results. Which one you choose will come down to personal preference. Choose the one that works best for you. When it comes to scholarship searches, consider who you know or your friends and family know. There are a number of companies, local unions, and clubs and organizations that offer employees and their dependents scholarship opportunities. We often have local scholarships sent to us, and we post them on the Career Center website. Be sure to check there for regular updates. Another potential way to save money is considering a community college or technical school option for your first 2 years. You can save a lot of money by going to school locally. The first 2 years of a bachelor's degree are often spent completing courses, core courses, and prerequisites. These can be done at the community college where tuition is about half of the price of a 4-year school. Ultimately, keep your options open so you can make the best choice for you. Keep in mind that the College Financial Aid Office can be an invaluable resource. Not only will they have scholarship resources, but they can help with payment plans and any questions as it pertains to your financial aid package. Don't hesitate to be persistent with your questions and advocate for yourself. Schools won't know that you might be in need of assistance unless you reach out and tell them. Colleges want to help their students and make college an affordable experience for everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for this information session. Please reach out to your school counseling or career center with questions. Take care.